The guest stars in tonight's story, Ruth White, Louise Sorel, Lloyd Goff. Tonight's episode, The Survivors. Brought to you by...
This is where it began, Fairgreen, Indiana. Here, 10 years ago, at the county hospital, Richard Kimball completed his internship. Here he met a nurse named Helen Waverly, and here they resolved to get married. Now he's come back to a town where people have reason to remember him. Perhaps some more than others.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Oh, just a minute. I can't hear a thing. Dad, you've got that thing blasting. Hello, I'm sorry about the...
Terry, this is Richard.
Who? Who is this?
It's Richard.
But why? I can't believe it.
How are you, Terry?
I'm fine. Where are you?
Right here in Fairgreen.
You shouldn't have. I mean, well, you know.
I was only about 60 miles away. I read in the papers about Ed's trouble. Is it true?
It's true.
Well, how's he taking it? And your mother?
All right, I guess. Well, I mean, nothing has changed, I'm afraid.
Why, what do you mean?
The, way she feels.
Who is that?
Terry, there's something that might help. Do you have Helen's papers?
Everything they sent us.
Terry, who is that?
Was there anything in there about a savings account in Indianapolis someplace?
No. I mean, we never found anything like that.
Terry, I'll call you back.
Richard.
Back, I want you to hang right up on him.
Dad, I can't.
Your mother could get back any minute.
Phil's meeting her train at noon. It's only 10:30.
She could have taken an earlier train.
Well, what if she did?
You remember how upset she was that time he was seen as close as Chicago?
That's too bad about her.
Terry. Look, honey, I know how you feel, but he was found guilty by a jury. You know that.
I know him. That's enough.
What do you know? You haven't seen him since the trial.
Do you think he was guilty?
I don't know.
You see?
No. Because if there was any chance at all, he killed your sister.
Dad. He wants to help us.
If he calls back, you hang up.
Richard.
Hello, Terry.
I don't want him in the house.
Dad.
Ed, just for a little while. I have no place else to go.
You've managed?
Dad, if it were just some mangy stray cat scratching at the door, you'd let him in. Please, Dad.
I'll get it.
Mr. Waverly?
That's right.
Mr. Waverly, there's been a report that Richard Kimball was spotted.
You mean here in Fairgreen?
Yes, sir, we think so. Chief Atherton thought that he might try to come here.
To this house? I imagine this would be the last place he'd come, officer.
Well, I suppose you're right. But I'd still advise you to keep the house locked up tight.
Don't worry.
Don't you, miss? We've got every man on the force out looking for him.
That's good to know.
If you see or if you hear anything out of the ordinary, please let us know.
We will, officer, and thank you.
Thank you.
It was a policeman, but he's gone.
I want you out of the house before my wife gets home.
Dad, that's only an hour. He can't go back out there where they're still looking for him.
But your mother...
He can stay upstairs. Mother hasn't been up there since... Please, Dad.
Until it's dark, then. But that's all.
Thanks, Ed. You too, Terry. The account was in her name. She opened it before we were married. You sure this is all?
Well, except for her clothes, a few books, phonograph records, that kind of thing. Look, that might be Mother. You better get upstairs. Phil's coming in.
Who's Phil?
Phil Corbin. Terry and Phil are getting married.
Maybe. He's an assistant in the district attorney's office. Take the guest room. Is everything all right, Mama?
How was your trip, dear?
I'd like to be alone for a while, please.
I was afraid of that.
What happened?
Didn't you hear about Kimball?
The police were here already.
We heard about it in the car. It was like somebody had slapped her across the face. Well, look, the streets are swarming with patrol cars, but be careful, huh?
Phil,
You can't tell what he's liable to do.
please don't start that again.
Okay, honey. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe he didn't do it. But don't forget something. He's been on the run for a long time. That can change a man.
I don't believe that.
No? Honey, you just take some little puppy, some harmless little puppy. You beat him and you kick him like he was some kind of mad dog, and I'll tell you something. Pretty soon, that's exactly what you'll have.
He wouldn't come here.
Why not? He came to Fairgreen. Well, I'll see you tomorrow anyhow. Mrs. Waverly invited me to dinner. You see, at least there's one woman in this family who shows some interest in me. See what I mean? I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Phil. Honey, he could be right. About Richard, I mean.
Dad, you talked to him. Did he seem like a mad dog to you?
Well, anyhow, he's leaving tonight.
Dad, he came here where he knew anybody could recognize him. He came here to help us. You heard what Phil said about the police cars. He's got to stay here until it's safe for him to go.
All right. But if your mother finds out, I'd like you to be the one to face her.
Haven't I always been? I'll look in the garage to see if I can find some of Helen's things. Dad, you want to help me?
Adoption business. He knows how I feel. Mama, I miss you so much. Well, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be a happy birthday message. Happy birthday, Mama. And please come to see me. Happy birthday, Mama. In case you don't remember my voice, this is your daughter, Helen. I couldn't find any cards I liked, and I thought this would be better anyhow. How are you and Dad getting along? Oh, and tell Terry if she gets invited to the prom, I'll pay for the new formal.
Who's out there? Is that you, Ed? It's just me, Mama. I wanted to see if you were all right.
Just close the door, thank you.
Happy birthday, Mama. In case you don't remember my voice.
She, hasn't changed a thing in that room since the day Helen left.
That's over 9 years ago.
At first it seemed quaint, sort of like a sentimental gesture, but after Helen died, it was like a shrine or something.
What about you, Terry?
Me? What are you talking about? Come on, you remember what it was like. I never counted. I just happened to live here, that's all. Well, be honest. You never even knew I was around.
Well, I would now. You're very attractive.
Well, thanks for that.
No, I mean it.
You wouldn't like a traveling companion, would you?
Well, I don't think you'd like the accommodation. You really want to get out?
Oh, yes.
Why don't you?
Guilt, I suppose. Well, after all, she is my mother, and somebody's got to take care of her. Well, Dad can hardly take care of himself. After Helen and Mother's illness, it was like he gave up.
Your mother's illness?
She has something wrong with her heart. As for the doctors, they're not sure about the rest. That's where the money went. It went to doctors, specialists, psychiatrists. Not one of them lasted more than 2 weeks. Well, there you have it. God bless our happy home.
I'm sorry.
Richard? I'm glad you're here.
It's Ed.
I'll see you later, Richard.
I'd like you to go. I think you know why.
Ed, come on.
I just don't understand you. Or maybe I do. You used to be welcome in this house. You ate at our table. You slept in this very room. You do remember that, don't you?
I remember that, Ed.
And how can you come back here and do what you're doing to her?
What am I doing to her?
Don't you know she's had a crush on you ever since she was 14? Ever since Helen first brought you here. You had to know that.
Isn't that part of growing up, Ed?
If she'd gotten over it. After your escape and everything. Well, I guess that made you more glamorous than ever.
What about her fiancé?
Phil. They've been engaged for over a year, and she still won't set the date.
And you think that?
I think she could love him if she'd give herself a chance. If you'd give her the chance.
Well, I'm going to be leaving tonight as soon as it gets dark, okay?
Okay.
I wasn't sure the chief would go along with it. It's still just a hunch.
Well, we've got a car covering the alley in the back. Jim and I will sit tight right here.
Good.
Nobody will get near that house without our knowing about it.
Thanks, Hunch.
Yeah.
The Fugitive will continue following station identification.
There should be over $5,000 in that account and no clue as to what bank.
You're sweet to worry about us, but we'll get along.
You said before that I'd seen everything except the clothes and books and records.
That's right.
What books?
Right here. You think there might be something in one of them?
There might be. Helen used to keep things in books the way some people kept a diary. Important dates, things like that. Here's a birthday list. Your birthday. Everybody's.
Think she might have written something in one of them?
She just might have.
What's this?
I think this is it. Name of the bank. The dates of the deposits. Here.
Well, that's great. Look, Dad and I can drive to Indianapolis in the morning and settle it all. Half of it's yours.
No, you keep it all, Terry.
No, that's not right.
Look, maybe when your father gets back on his feet.
Tomorrow morning.
I won't be here tomorrow morning. I'm leaving tonight.
What are you talking about? You have to be here.
Terry, when it gets dark, I'm leaving. Your father was right. I shouldn't have come in the first place.
What did he say?
Doesn't matter. I made up my mind to leave before we talked. It has to be tonight.
We'll see about that. What did you say to him?
Please keep your voice down.
She's still in there.
What do you think?
He found it. And he's giving it to us.
What?
The money, the account. It's all here.
He's giving it to us. I mean, all of it?
That's right.
I'll take it down to the bank right away.
What about Richard?
What about him?
Tell him to stay.
I can't. If your mother finds out, it'd kill her.
Dad, just for once think of somebody else.
Terry, don't talk that way.
All right. Run away. Run away like you always run away from something that might be hard to face.
Terry.
He might have saved the business for you and risked his life. You're gonna let him go out there tonight and be hunted down. No wonder you want to get out. If you're not here, you won't have to think about it.
See to your mother. She hasn't eaten all day.
Mama, you've read those letters over 1,000 times.
They're Helen's.
I know.
And you'd better know this, too. I don't want you or anyone else coming in this room without knocking first.
Can I get you anything?
You talked to Philip since this morning?
No, Mother.
I only wish Helen had been able to marry a man like Phil instead of...
Instead of a maniac, is that what you mean?
What is he?
Never mind.
Anyhow, men like Phil are rare. You should be grateful.
Stop it.
I'm only saying...
You're saying he's too good for me.
No.
For Helen, he would have been fine, but I should be grateful.
Darling, you don't understand. Helen was very close to me.
Well, what am I? Something you found in the streets?
What are you talking about?
Me. I'm talking about me, Mama. I'm your daughter, too, you know.
Of course you are. You've always been. We've always tried to do as much for you as we did for Helen. We sent you to college. You were the one who quit.
Oh, yes, that's right, I did.
And that time you were in the hospital. Your father and I scraped together the money so that you could have the best.
Oh, thank you very much, Mother, for the money.
You don't understand.
Oh, I understand, all right. You've locked yourself in this room, this mausoleum, and you read her letters and you go through her things over and over again.
She was your sister.
But she's dead, Mama, she's dead. No. And I'm alive. Is that what you hate? Is that why you never look at me? Is that why you sit in this room and stare at dead things? Because that's all they are, Mama. They're dead. Oh, no. And they're dead, too.
Richard. You can stay if you like. At least until the pressure's off.
That's all right, Abe.
I'd like you to.
Terry's been in her room crying for the last hour.
I know.
I think you ought to go to her.
She doesn't want to see me.
She needs you, Ed. She needs somebody. Goodbye.
Please don't go, please.
Not a thing. Think he's back here?
Well, this is where he was heading. Get back out front.
Ed, get on the radio and rustle us up some help. One thing's sure, nobody crossed the alley after the shot.
And we ought to have him boxed in real good.
Think he's armed?
I wouldn't wait to find out. So?
Still quiet.
All right. Let's get these men moving. Check the garages, the roofs, the sheds, everything. And then check them again. Send one of these cars around to the other street just in case.
Mike, you and Briggs take the car and cover Farrell Street. The rest of you men, over here. Let's get this search rolling. The rest of you, move! Move!
you done enough to this family?
What are you going to do?
I don't know exactly. I've thought about this moment for 3 years now. I've planned ways how an old lady like me could take you by the throat and choke the life out of you. The way you did to my daughter. And then I'd think, wouldn't it be simpler just to turn him over to the police? Let them strap you into that chair. Because that's not a good way to die either, is it?
Is that what you're going to do?
Is there any reason why I shouldn't?
There are reasons. But not for you, I guess.
And if you'll just stand out of my way, I'm going out there. You're going to kill me, too. You're going to have to, you know. But that won't be difficult. With my heart, it'll be the easiest. Terry, go out and tell them he's in here.
No.
And I'll have to do it myself.
Mama, please.
Terry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for a lot of things. But I have to do this.
Mama. I've never asked you for anything before. I mean anything important.
Then why this?
Because there has been too much pain. And it has to stop somewhere.
Terry, listen to me. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. But it has nothing to do with this.
Oh, yes, it does. I'm asking you for something for the first time. I'm asking you for his life.
Take him upstairs.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you from me, too.
I don't want your thanks. Besides, you'll be caught. If not today, sometime. So far, you've had luck. That's bound to run out somewhere, too.
Come on.
You and Terry. Honey, I'm awfully glad. Why did you come back?
I had to.
There must be 20 cops out there. They're searching every house on the block.
Don't worry. We'll get out of this.
What do you mean, we?
I'm going to.
Where are you going?
Don't worry. You won't have to drag me along or anything, but I'll be in Chicago or maybe New York, and all you have to do is write to me here, and they'll forward it.
Perry,
I'm going to wait for him. Not here. I can't stand it anymore. Richard, I know you don't love me or anything, but maybe you could someday. I mean, it isn't impossible, is it?
You can't mean all this.
Don't try to stop me.
Terry, I want you to listen to me. One thing you said is true. I don't love you. I don't think I ever could love you. Maybe if none of this had ever happened, maybe if I'd never met Helen.
But I'm not Helen. I could make you happy.
Don't flatter yourself.
Get out. I said get out!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're looking for Richard Kimball.
we haven't seen him.
I saw him leave this house a half an hour ago. There's a good chance he's already gotten away, but we'd like your permission to search the house anyway.
There's no point in that.
What was he doing here?
He broke in and made us hide him, that's all.
Well, maybe he broke in again.
You'll be wasting your time.
Well, it really doesn't matter. If you refuse, we can be back here in 15 minutes with a warrant.
All right. Go ahead.
Thank you. Frank, you take it downstairs.
I'm telling you, it'll be a waste of time.
That's all right. I've got plenty of time. What's this?
They're looking for Richard.
Excuse me. And what's this in here?
Just a guest room.
Looks like you had a guess.
This is where he was hiding.
I see.
Guest bath. You see, Sergeant, like
That's
I
all
told
that's up here?
Just the linen closet.
That window. Where does it lead?
Out back? It hasn't been opened in years.
Are you sure?
Well, look, it's painted shut.
No attic?
No.
Is something wrong, miss?
I'm afraid Kimball's being here upset her quite a bit. You'd better go downstairs, dear.
All right.
I guess he got away before we moved the troops in.
Miss Waverly, I heard they were searching the house.
Bill!
Hey, honey, what's the matter?
There's no sign of him.
You think he got away?
It looks like it.
Oh, that means the chief will have to call that Lieutenant Gerard or something. I understand he's been waiting by the phone.
Yeah, there may be some questions later. Thank you very much for all your help.
Of course.
You mind if I take your daughter outside for a while? This whole thing seems to have gotten to her.
If you come back in about an hour, I'll have dinner ready for you.
Don't bother.
Nonsense. I want to do it.
We'll be back in an hour.
I'd like to thank you again.
Get him out of here as soon as you can. I have a dinner to get ready.
Far enough out. You shouldn't have any trouble getting through to South Bend.
And look, Ed.
Forget it. It's all in the family.
A man tries to arm himself against the lonely night, for he knows that at this time and place, there can be no homecoming for a fugitive.
You late, Pete?
Transmission's throwing oil. Had to keep stopping to check it.
You got us left orders. Take that load to Colorado Springs.
Well, he's all heart.
How many hours you got left in your logbook?
Around this joint who counts.
I count. How many hours you got left?
Big zero.
All right, take off. Take your 8 hours.
Yeah, who's going to deliver that load?
It'll have to wait.
Here, dispatcher. No skin off of my nose. Guessing don't like it.
Take your tractor into the shop, see if they can find out what's wrong with the transmission.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Well, I'm Lucia Mayfield. Well, Gus said that I could come by to borrow his car. Is he here?
No, he isn't, but he left word. The car's right outside. I'll get you the keys.
Oh. And wasn't there anything else?
$75. There you are. You said to keep the car as long as you like.
Oh, thanks. I don't believe that I've seen you around here before, Mrs.
I've
Douglas.
only been here a couple of weeks.
Oh, are you from in town?
No, California. Bakersfield.
Bakersfield? Really? Well, my husband used to haul produce out of there. He was with West Mountain Express. Maybe you knew him. Kenny Mayfield?
Kenny Mayfield. I heard the name. Does he work here now?
Oh, no, he was killed in an accident 2 years ago. Working for Gus.
I'm sorry.
Well, the children and I, we had long talks about that, didn't we, huh? Didn't we, you bad things? We decided we're just not going to be sad anymore, huh? I don't know what we would have done without Gus, though. He's really been like a father to them. Will you listen to me? Hey, you are the newcomer in town. Here's me talking about myself. Tell me, have you found a house yet for you and your family, Mr. Douglas?
No, I'm at Mrs. Watson's. No family.
Oh. It must be awful lonesome for you. Mama! Jimmy hit me! Jimmy, would you come back? I'm sorry. It just seems like they don't know how to act anymore when there's a man around. Well, I hope I'll see you again, Mr. Douglas.
Helping unload the Colorado Springs. I told him to go home. Do what? He had too many hours in his log. I want you to hear this good, hotshot. That truck cost me $80 a day. See, that's how much I lose when it ain't going down the highway. Right now, $80 I can't afford. You got that? He told me to watch the logs, didn't you, Gus? For me, not for the ICC. You want to play Santa Claus, go get yourself a sled. All right. Wait a minute. Since this load ain't gonna deliver itself, I think you and me will change jobs. I'm gonna sit on my duff and make all the big shot decisions. You're gonna junkie this trailer to Colorado Springs. You know, I haven't been checked out in semi. Yeah, well, you will be by the time we get back. Go get a tractor and hook it up. Let me make a living for a change, will you, hotshot? You can try to buck me, but don't try to out-wrestle the truck, will you? How long's that car been on our tail? Nice couple of miles. How fast we going? 15. Drop back to 40, will you? He slowed with us. I'll bet you a buck it's a roadman from the Transway Insurance Company. We haven't broken any laws. Don't bet on it, hotshot. You're an unqualified driver. According to the insurance company, you aren't allowed to push a kiddie car around the yard. Let's change places. Keep rolling. Hold it steady! I was into a ditch. Remember, I've been driving all the time. What do you say, Logan? Long time no see.
Like to take a look at your logbook, Gus.
Figures. My pleasure.
Three hours left.
It's enough time. We're only going to the springs.
How about your safety equipment?
Flares, emergency reflector in the box, extra bulbs in the gin bin. Fire extinguisher on the cowl. Would you like to look in the cab? We even have clean ashtrays.
What's your name?
Bill Douglas.
Your relief driver?
I work in the office. You just came along for the ride, that's all.
Where are you from, Douglas?
California?
You work for a trucking company out there?
Yeah, the West Mountain Express. Bakersfield.
Nice operation. Good management. You must know their maintenance foreman, Charlie Powers.
No, madam.
Charlie used to work for the bus company in Denver.
Is that all? We got a load to deliver.
Okay, shut off.
Let's roll, huh?
Gus, that job I said I had with West Mountain Express.
Logan bought your story to me. Forget it, I ain't interested. Douglas. Bill Douglas. Yeah. Well, write it down, will you, so you won't forget it. Yeah, well, that's what he told Logan. I was standing right there. I don't know why he did it. Come on, Charlie. How's it going to hurt you? Good. All right. Thanks. So long.
What's the matter, Gus? The well running dry?
What do you know? You open up a cash register and Ernie Swoboda comes cooling out of the woodwork, huh?
Ah, you got it all wrong. Gus, I come by and do an old buddy a favor.
Yeah, well, your kind of favors I need like poison. Why don't you let the door hit you in the back?
You know something? You must have a lot of worries trying to run an outfit like this. I mean, maintenance, new equipment, salaries. It takes a lot of money, I bet.
You worried about me, huh?
Well, sure I'm worried about you. Like, for example, suppose one of your drivers stops for coffee somewhere and leaves the key in the ignition. And then somebody comes along and borrows the truck and steals the cargo. I mean, I'd feel sorry for you. So would my friends. They probably want to make it up to you somehow, you know what I mean?
You want to know something? You're a slob, Ernie. You know that? You're a two-bit slob.
Right. So, think it over, Gus. I mean, I hear you're having a little trouble paying the bills.
Or maybe your hearing's bad.
Listen, this kind of a deal, Gus, nobody loses. The insurance company pays the claim, and we get a piece of the action. I know a guy in New Mexico made $2,000 in an hour.
Why don't you get out of here before I break your head open?
All right, I'm going. Don't cut your fingers scraping for dimes.
Sorry to bother you at home.
Well, that's all right.
I came to return Gus's car. He wasn't at the office, and I didn't want to just park it there. I thought maybe I could leave it with you.
Well, sure, I'll take care of it.
Thanks very much. first name's better.
Well, so do I.
Well, hope I haven't been too much of a nuisance.
Well, Mrs. Mayfield. If I keep the car, how are you and the kids gonna get home?
Oh, don't you worry. I already left them off at their grandmother's for the night. I can just catch the bus across the street.
I don't think Gus would mind if I drove you home.
Well, he better not. It was written up in all the papers. Pictures, everything. But nobody really knows what happened. Truck turned over. Gus was thrown clear. Kenny wasn't. Police report said that Kenny probably fell asleep at the wheel.
What did Gus say?
Oh, he couldn't remember. It all happened too fast.
Make it sound like somebody else's story. Is that because it still hurts to connect it with yourself?
The nights keep getting longer, if that's what you mean. But this one is not going to. How's Gus doing? His office making a lot of money?
I'm just the dispatcher. Keeps the money problems pretty much to himself.
Oh, I thought you kind of ran things at that office. Like the music?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, you don't act like it.
I guess I'm just tired.
Look, it's right down there, on the left. You watch for the porch light. I think there's some wine in the refrigerator.
Oh, Lucia.
Aren't you going to come in?
Well, I'd like to, but I think I ought to give Gus his car back.
I've been alone for 2 years.
I know, Lucia.
I've been alone. You filthy sneeze! Get back! I lied to you. The grandmother they're supposed to be spending the night with, she lives in Arkansas. I put him in the back room. I thought they'd go to sleep. Well, I guess you're right. You better take Gus's car back.
Hey, Gus! Gus! What is it? Telephone. Hey, it. It's Transway Insurance. All right, I'll take it. Yeah. Gus Henry. Hello, Mr. Halsey. Well, I was meaning to call you about that, you see. Well, I got a lot of new business contracts coming up, and, yeah, well, they'll be coming through any time now. Oh, wait a minute here. Look, all I'm asking for is an extension of the grace period, you know? Well, you can't do that. I mean, you cancel me, I'm out of the business. I can't hold without insurance, right? Next Monday. Where am I going to get a... Yeah. Sure, I heard you Monday. I heard you. It's Logan. That's who it is. He won't stop till he finishes me. He can't bug me himself. He gets one of his office flunkies to do it for him.
Maybe he's just doing his job. Huh?
His job, to climb on my back and stay there?
I know how you feel.
Don't tell me you know how I feel. Nobody knows how I feel unless they've had it like I have up here. Why don't you get out of here? Go ahead. Okay. Oh. Wait a minute. I mean, I'm sorry. I guess I needed somebody to holler at. Come on. Check the time, guys.
No. Jimmy fell this morning. He knocked a tooth loose. It's one of those permanent ones. Look, it's in the front. Show him, honey. Show your Uncle Gus. Mrs. Wilson, it's okay. Mr. Hendrick is here. I'll get a ride home. Mrs. Wilson was kind enough to take us to the dentist this morning.
Yeah, I'll come to the office. Come on.
Hi.
Come on.
Well, now, Jimmy, you don't ask your Uncle Gus for anything this time. Remember, it hurts your lip to talk.
Don't look bad. I mean, everybody gets in the mouth sometime.
That's just what I'd expect you to say. You should have talked to the orthodontist like I did. His teeth are in terrible shape. Why, if he doesn't have braces right away, they're going to be crooked the rest of his life.
Well, a lot of kids are crooked.
Oh, well, not my son, no. Not if I have to scrub floors.
How much is it going to cost me?
Well, an orthodontist is not just a dentist.
Yeah, I know. How much?
$300 to start.
$300 to start? To straighten a tooth?
Oh, what do you think I'm talking to you? You're not even trying to understand. He's going to have braces for at least 2 years.
And last month, Lucy had to have dancing lessons, right? This kid had to get on a plane and go visit his grandmother, right? Now he needs clothes, and then he needs a bicycle. I mean, when's it stop?
You told me that I could always come to you for help.
Not now, Lucy. Maybe in a month, not now.
We don't want to be a burden to you.
Oh, come on, don't start that up again.
Well, you must know that things haven't been so easy for us. When Kenny was alive, well, then he could always find a way if there was a little something extra that we needed. He never came to you for anything, you know that. He worked hard for you. Even that last haul. Maybe that accident never would have happened if he hadn't been so tired. That's what I think. That's what I think at night. I think, what would have happened if he hadn't been alone with you?
Lucia, I've been thinking about something. I mean, I've been giving a lot of thought. You know how you're always talking about wanting to move back east like Chicago, you know?
Yeah, I thought about it. Why?
Well, suppose I could fix it up that you can move back into a nice apartment, have nice clothes, things like that.
Well, that would take a lot of money.
Well, maybe I could get my hands on $2,000.
That is a lot of money. How long do you think it would take you to get it?
A couple of days.
What about Jimmy's teeth?
Oh, come on. All right, I'll throw in the $300 as a going-away present, okay?
You, Gus, you. I think a change might be just what I'd need.
Good. Hotshot. How much money we got on the cash register? $350? Well, give me 300 of it, will you?
And your drivers that have to be paid?
I said give it to me!
You see? Huh? Mama fixed up everything all right. Huh?
Kind of light lunch, ain't it, Gus?
Come by to tell jokes.
I come by because you called me.
Well, maybe I'm interested in a deal, huh?
What kind of deal?
I got a load of electronic parts going to Albuquerque this afternoon. They're insured for $25,000.
That's what I call a fat load. Well, you know that electronic stuff. You gotta have a buyer for that kind of merchandise. I have to talk it over with my friends.
Wait a minute. I want $3,000. One now, two in a couple of days.
500 now, 1,500 when the job is done.
You know you're still a slob, Ernie. You're still a slob.
Hey, wait a minute. Take it easy. All right, you got a deal.
I want to see the money.
I didn't think you called me over here to talk over old times, so I brought a little extra. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, big one. Hey, you know where the halfway house is? Let's set it up there. I'll call you here after I talk to my friends.
Hey, give me some whiskey.
Well, that's it, Luke. They're working. Knock it off and shoot it. Lucia?
Well, that's a big reaction. I thought my new outfit would at least get a whistle.
That's very nice.
Come on. How about you get rid of your pencils and let a lady take you out to lunch?
Well, I've got this, scheduling to do.
I don't think you heard me, Mr. Douglas. I said I'm buying. It's free. You are going out on the town with a wealthy woman. Oh, come on, Bill. Don't play so hard to get. I feel too good. I feel just like someone just let me out of prison. And I want to celebrate.
300 isn't going to last you very long like that.
Oh, don't you worry about that. I'm getting a lot more tomorrow. Say, $2,000 to be exact.
I'm got you.
Maybe I got a long-lost uncle who wants to be nice. And if you're nice, too, I might just let you help me to spend.
I don't think you'll need any help.
Maybe you're right, Billy boy. Maybe I won't. Wrong address, driver! Right drive. Wrong address.
You want to join it? What are you doing here? Oh, well, you know, Lou fixed the lights on the trailer. They were short in the wires. Came down here just to tell me that? No, it's lunchtime. Thought I'd get a sandwich. Well, you make it to go.
What are you looking at? What are you looking?
Howdy. Hey, Lucia. Came by a few minutes ago. Before this start. One of the kids break their arm or something. She was talking about, money, a lot of money. $2,000. So what? Well, you already gave her 300. And 200 before that, and 150 before that, and 50 before that, and as far back as you can count before that. You know, it's none of my business, cuz, but I know that Lucia's husband worked for you when he was killed. Well, I get the feeling that she's sort of leaning on you like a charity case. Kind of sticking your nose in where it don't belong, ain't you, do that? You know, you haven't got enough money to pay the insurance premium on the trucks, and, you know, if you don't have insurance, you're out of business. And, well, where's Lucia going to get the money then? What are you talking about? There's the money over there. Hey, it's more you were broke. Find the money, too? What are you, some kind of wise guy? No. Just wanted to know where it came from, that's all. You not only got a big mouth, you got a big nose, too. You know that? You were right. It ain't none of your business what I do. Now, you take this money, see, and you go down to Transway Insurance, and you pay the premium $955, and you make sure you get a receipt. Because nobody's gonna knock Gus Hendricks off the road. Nobody, nowhere. Okay. Oh, Doug, get it, Gus. Leave me alone. No, come on, now, take it. Shut leave me alone! You okay, Hotshot? Forget it, huh? I mean, no hard feelings? I don't know where you got the money. I think it's trouble. I don't need any. I'll pay the insurance payment for you. Finish the day, and then I'm taking off.
He's finished with that. Oh, Mr. Williams, State Patrol, Sergeant Fountain.
Yes, Sergeant. That's right. They use a big silver bullet with red lettering on the side of their trucks. I know Mr. Logan's leaving in a few minutes. Right.
Excuse me. I'd like to see Mr. Halsey in the accounting department, please.
Oh, he just stepped out for coffee. Care to wait?
Thank you. Well, there seems to be a lot of excitement around here.
It's like the Normandy invasion. Thank you.
The Bullet Trucking Company I overheard. Is there anything wrong?
Mr. Douglas, I'll be glad to answer your questions. Come in. Sit down.
No, thank you.
Let's you and me save ourselves some time, Douglas. What was it you thought you'd heard out there?
Nothing. I was waiting to see a man in your accounting department, that's all.
Okay, I'll lay it on the line. Gus Hendrick is a shoestringer. He makes his own rules and he breaks the rest. We've paid out a great deal of money in claims because of the way he operates. Wrecks, damaged cargo. A man like him makes it rough for the good outfits. Call it my rotten apple in the barrel theory. Try to get rid of the one that stinks so it won't damage the others. You understand me so far?
I'm not sure.
I called the West Mountain Express this morning. That outfit you said you worked for. I take the call just in case I might need it. For reference. Sure that, Charlie?
Yeah, Mr. Logan, I remember Bill Douglas for sure. He's a nice guy, real nice guy.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
Sure, I got you.
By the way, Charlie, you happen to remember how Douglas lost those fingers on his right hand?
Yeah, it was an accident. I don't remember exactly. I think he was changing a tire.
Feeling better?
Got me mixed up with somebody else, that's all.
You never worked for West Mountain Express. We both know it. What'd you do? Call Charlie Powers and fix up an alibi in case I checked?
No, I did not.
Well, somebody did.
Mr. Logan. I needed a job. Gus needed somebody with experience that line. That's all there is to it.
Man also lies when he's trying to cover up something. You say he was to get a job. Maybe. You cooperate, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Cooperate?
Whatever you heard out there in the office a minute ago, or whatever you think you made of it, you better forget it. Because if you don't, I'll run a police check on you all the way back to your great-grandmother. Okay.
Hello? Have you seen Gus? No, I called there. He left about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, if you see him, let me know. Okay.
Looks like that tip we got was on the level. Here.
Yes, sir.
Fill it up. Hey, listen, maybe you better change the oil and give me a lube. I'm gonna get a bite to eat.
I'm sorry, sir. The lube rack's closed.
How you mean closed?
Don't ask me. Boss says keep the door closed. I keep it closed.
Chances are that's the man who's going to steal the truck.
Hey, Gus, Douglas said you were sick. I'm taking your home to Albuquerque.
I'll take it. You okay?
I'm okay. I said I'm taking it.
Hello. Who is this?
Look, never mind. Just tell Gus the whole deal is off. You got that? The whole place is swarming with cops.
Hey, what's with Gus? One minute he's sick, next minute he ain't. That's me, he's gas.
Where is he?
Taking that load to Albuquerque.
Don't talk. Listen, I'll shot everything I got. I want you to give it to Lucia, see? The money and the car keys in my pocket. That belongs to her. Her husband, you know, Kenny, he wasn't driving the truck. I was. And I fell asleep at the wheel. I was pushing too hard. Like now, I was 6 hours over the line. He warned me. I needed the dope. It was like killing them. You do that for me, Archer?
stay here and watch the traffic, and also call the station. We probably need an ambulance. No, he's at it.
Yeah?
Truck looks like it went off that curve doing 70.
Just never did anything small way.
Like somebody didn't want to stick around and answer questions.
Got a pretty good idea why. Sergeant, you better put out a trace for a man named Joe Douglas.
Maybe. Well. Really, boy? Changed your mind, huh?
Lucio Gus is dead.
Huh?
He was killed. An accident on their halfway house.
Well, so it finally happened, huh? Just like it did to Kenny.
Left in the car. $43.
That's all? Just a beat-up old car and a couple of bucks? And that's all?
Well, that's all he had.
Hey, wait a minute! What about the $2,000 they promised me? What am I gonna do? What about the kids? Hey, wait a minute, you can't just throw that here. Hit me! He hit me! That man hit me, Mama! He hit me! He hit me! Shut up, I'll give you another one.
Justice can be delivered by a final act of violence, or it can be elusive and taunting, as it has become for Richard Kimball. For him, justice hides around the next bend in the road, beyond the next mountain, on the bus that is just pulling out. Somewhere, sometime, he will find it. A hint of security in the familiar hospital routine. For no man, not even a convicted murderer, can completely abandon his past. Nor can his past abandon him.
Reynolds, where's Toby? Playing with the girls in X-ray again.
I haven't seen him.
Sent him down to the lab a good half hour ago. Find him, will you? I need the lab reports on Leonetti.
Who?
Leonetti in 307. Well, go on. It's getting late.
Well, I get off at midnight. Why don't you meet me in the parking lot, and we'll,
Yeah? The nurse would like the lab reports.
Hey,
Anything, will you cover for me, Pops? Tell her the doctor couldn't operate without me, huh?
That's all, huh? 10 lousy months.
Maybe a year. Believe me, Victor, if there was anything.
I'm a healthy man, Doctor. Look at me. I'm strong like a bull. Those tests could be wrong, you know. You could be wrong, too.
Frequently. But not this time.
You doctors. All so smart. What right have you got to sentence a man to death, huh? And what am I supposed to do? Lay down and die? Just because you said so?
You insisted on knowing the truth, Victor.
Listen. Do me a favor, will you? And don't tell my wife about this.
She knows we've been running tests.
I told her it was for an ulcer.
I think she should know.
What for? She gonna make me better?
Victor, you're not being fair to yourself. You're going to need Ann's help.
Listen, Doctor. 4 years ago, it was our little daughter, Jeannie. She needed that big heart operation, you know? And now this business with me. Well, I just don't want Ann to know anything's gonna happen to me.
All right, Victor. I won't say anything until I have to. You can tell Ann you have no ulcers. She can take you home tonight.
Nice work, Fink. Telling old horseface I was goofing off an x-ray.
Well, I don't care what the inspector said. The zoning commission approved every house in that tract. All right, leave it on my desk and I'll take care of it tonight. Is that you out there, Ann?
Hello, darling. Congratulations. Now I'll sit. Aren't you pleased?
Sure. Sure, I'm pleased. Oh, the building inspector's given us a few problems. I'm going to go down to the office tonight.
Oh, well, can't that wait till tomorrow?
Tomorrow. How many tomorrows does a guy have? I better take care of it now.
Darling, are you sure it's just the building inspectors that's bothering you?
I wasted 2 days here.
Victor, I saw him too.
Who?
Dr. Kimball.
What are you talking about?
Haven't you seen him?
You mean you saw him here in this hospital?
Oh, well, darling, now that must have been my imagination.
Show me where he is.
Victor, wait.
Like a buzzard, that Kimball, a vulture. Every time somebody dies, poof, there's Kimball.
Victor, stop it, please.
First Jeannie, and then his wife, and now... You go on home, Ann. I'll take a cab when I get finished at the office.
Promise me you won't call the police, please, Victor.
He's a murderer, isn't he?
You know better than that. You were at the trial. You heard him testify. Filing back in Stafford everyone who really knew him felt he was innocent.
His wife knew him, and she's dead. And Jeannie knew him, and she's dead too. And why? Because he was out of town, on vacation, instead of being there with her. Operator, I want the police.
Dr. Kimball.
If you want a doctor...
Now, don't play games. You don't have the time. Anne Leonetti, do you remember?
You're a long way from home.
Yes, well, my husband and I left Stafford about a year ago. Victor's developing some real estate here. He knows you're here, Doctor. And I'm sure he's called the police by now. You'd better hurry.
He still blames me for Jeannie's death.
Yes.
And you don't?
I never did.
Thank you.
Go out emergency or whatever, and I'll drive her out. Doctor?
Yeah, that's our boy, all right. He calls himself Harry Reynolds, spelled F-I-N-K. I had him figured out right from the start.
Not a sign of him. He was here in the ward just a few minutes ago.
Call headquarters, Joe. Tell them to drop a net over this area.
Victor's overcoat's in the back seat. You'd better wear it to hide those whites.
All right. You let me off at the next signal.
Bus depot's just a few blocks from here.
Look, Hen, they can hold you for 80.
If I'd kept quiet, you wouldn't be in this mess. Victor never would have seen you. You know why he hates you? I mean, the real reason.
Yes. He blames me for Jeannie's death.
No. Nobody could have saved her, I know that. And Victor knows that too. But once he stops blaming you for Jeannie's death, he'll have to blame himself.
Yeah, and I want to thank you for this.
Don't thank me, Doctor. Forgive me. And my husband, too.
When Jeannie had that fatal attack, I was in New York. I went there to see George Fogarty. He's one of the leading cardiac specialists.
About Jeannie?
He was the only man I knew that could save her. I had persuaded him to come to Stafford, but by that time...
Did that for us. Why didn't you tell us? We had no idea.
Jeannie was gone. All the good intentions in the world. Stay out of this. Get out of here. Don't get mixed up in it.
There he is.
What's the matter?
Congratulations. Police just shot Kimball.
They shot him.
Did you finally get what you wanted, Victor?
All of a sudden, everything's my fault, huh? The man's a killer, so they shot him. He got everything he deserves.
Now, how would you know what he deserves? Who are you to pass judgment on him? You who've created nothing but overpriced, undersized houses, instant slums, suddenly your moral sense is
Wait a
so
minute,
outraged.
Dan. They gave us a good living, those houses. Uh-oh. And our life could have been so perfect.
Still can be perfect, Victor. You just let yourself forget. Could have had more children. We still can.
We'd still have our little Jeannie if your friend Kimball would...
Stop it, Victor. He told us she needed open heart surgery. He recommended one surgeon after another. But you didn't trust his judgment, and that's why she died, Vic!
All right, Em, don't.
The man you hated so much, Victor, was in New York when Jeannie had her last attack. Did you know that? He went there with his own money, on his own time, to get a heart specialist for our daughter. The best man in the country. One surgeon that even you would have to accept.
Who told you?
He did.
What'd you expect? He'd use any excuse.
Operator? I'd like to place a call to New York City. Dr. George Fogarty. No, I'm, sorry, you'll have to look up the number. Thank you.
Lieutenant, toss a few crumbs to the reporters.
He's the lieutenant, boys. How about some pictures, Lieutenant?
Settle down. Settle down.
Sure, Kimball.
Now, this is a hospital, not a press club. First of all, his condition. The doctor says the bullet tore some tendons in his shoulder, severed some blood vessels. He's lost a lot of blood, and he's still in shock. Right now, they're just trying to keep him alive. He faces a death sentence in Indiana, which is a lot tougher to beat than a gunshot wound. I've been in touch with the Indiana police. If Kimball survives, we'll arrange to have him extradited. Now, we're running a check on his fingerprints for final identification.
Yes, this is Lieutenant Gerard. Now, just a minute. We've had false alarms before. Are they sure it's Kimball? I'm not about to go running off to Michigan on some wild... All right. Let me know as soon as they have the final word on his ID.
They've actually got him in custody.
I've actually got somebody in custody. I should make sure of who before they blast me out of bed. Call the airport, will you, dear? Get me a reservation on the earliest plane to Selby.
How do you feel this morning?
I don't think I'm ready for the Olympics, but I'll make it.
Welcome back, killer. You think you can crawl through those bars? Bars on the windows, bars on the doors. A big hunk of fuzz with a gun on his hip out there? Cool it, man. You're here for keeps.
I hope you're not.
Hey, I'm your favorite ward boy. I got lonesome down there, so I asked for this job. This little nurse, she needs my kind of company. You know what I mean?
What happened to your little friend in X-ray?
Gloria? Yeah, she's been asking about you since she heard you're a wife killer. Ain't that a kick?
Well, tell her not to be too impatient. Yeah, they'll be taking me down to X-ray pretty soon.
Oh, sorry. No X-rays ordered.
Toby, take care of the dirty laundry.
How do you like that? She loves me.
Someone taking care of you?
You're the man in charge?
I'm Lieutenant Cermak.
Could I talk to you, please?
Well, I'm kind of busy. Maybe one of these other
No, please.
officers.
It's important. I've been walking the streets all night thinking about it.
Okay, right in here. Well, what's on your mind?
I want to confess to a crime. Murder.
Ben, get a stenographer and a tape recorder and bring him in here. You're a murderer, huh? Who's your victim?
Dr. Kimball's wife. You didn't kill her. I did.
The Fugitive will continue following station identification.
Did you send a car to the airport to pick up Lieutenant Gerard? Flight 12. Right. Fine. Yeah. Oh. Send her right in.
Lieutenant, Mrs. Leonetti.
Sit down, Miss Leonetti.
I'd like to see my husband, please.
Sorry, he refuses to see anyone.
Yes, but I'm his wife. I have a right to see him.
Well, he has his rights, too. If he doesn't want to see anybody.
That confession that he made, you don't believe that, do you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Afraid I do.
That's nonsense. He couldn't possibly have killed Helen Kimball.
Why not?
Oh, well, I was with him at home that night.
Was anyone with you? Did anyone see you together?
No, but
Mrs. Leonetti, I examined your husband's story every way I know. He's familiar with every detail of that killing. Now, the only one who could possibly tell us more would be the victim herself. Cermak. Oh, fine. I'll be right out. Lieutenant Gerard, I'm Cermak.
Well, how do you do, Lieutenant?
Come in.
Thank you. And tell me, are you certain this man you're holding is Kimball?
Yes, it's Kimball. I'm afraid I have a little surprise for you.
Toby, please get the lunch trays ready. I'm going to take the CPRs. Your shoulder bothering you? Where exactly does it hurt you?
The interior portion of the clavicle.
You were a doctor, weren't you?
My daughter was dead, and Kimball was alive. And that's all I could think about all the way over to the Kimball's house. I went around to the back, and I could hear them arguing. Kimball and his wife. Well, after a while, the doctor came out, and he drove away. He was still mad, I could tell.
How could you see him? Was the porch light on?
There's no porch in that house.
All right. Go on.
Well, I saw Helen was alone in there.
Helen?
Mrs. Kimball.
You knew her that well?
Yeah, we used to play bridge with them. And I'm a contractor. I'm the one who built their house. Well, anyway, I knew Helen was in there. And I started to think, why murder Kimball? Death is no punishment. The real punishment is grief. And if Helen were murdered, he'd really have something to grieve about. Anyway, I guess I was pretty upset.
How'd you get into the house?
The back door.
It was locked.
Yeah, well, I knocked on the door a few times. Helen heard me. Let me in.
How was she dressed?
She had on what do you call it, a cocktail dress.
She was wearing a house coat.
A cocktail dress. Light in color and sort of bluish gray.
Try again, Leonetti.
Bluish gray. Dress had a cloth belt. And I used that belt to strangle her.
All right. So you strangled her, left her on the sofa.
No. She was on the floor.
With the belt still around her neck?
I tossed it aside on the floor someplace, and I got out of there.
I know the back door was left open.
I used the front door. I might have left it open, though.
Where'd you go from there?
I started across the front lawn and... Oh, yeah. There was a man standing there.
Man?
Yeah. I guess he heard the noise in the house and stopped to take a look. Anyway, he saw me and he took off like a jackrabbit.
This, man, was he a stranger? Would you know him if you saw him again?
I don't know. What I remember about him was his empty sleeve. Coat sleeve. It looked to me like he had one arm.
Quite a bit of swelling. The wound looks clean, though. Must be some bone fragments in there after all. Any x-rays taken last night?
No.
Better get him downstairs for some pictures. We'll locate those bone chips and remove them, Kimball. Nothing to be concerned about.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're pretty busy next week, but I'll try to get you down there as soon as possible. There, that's your time.
Are you always this considerate of criminals?
Funny. I never thought of you as one.
It's taken me a long time, Kimball.
Not long enough.
I came to check on your condition. As soon as you're well enough, you will be extradited to Indiana. I'm taking you back to Stafford myself.
You're going to strap me on the fender of your car?
In time, I'd like to ask you some questions. About Victor Leonetti. How well do you know him?
His child is my patient.
He blames you for her death.
Have I been convicted of that one, too?
In a way. Leonetti is the noble citizen who turned you in. A man who'd do a thing like that would be capable of anything. Even murder. What do you think? Is he capable of murder?
I am in no mood for a psychiatric.
He claims he is. In fact, he claims he murdered your wife.
Leonetti killed Helen.
Oh, his confession's a work of art. Must have done a lot of research. Even found room for your one-armed man.
Why would he kill Helen?
His way of punishing you. Of course, his wife claims his story is false, but she can't explain why he told it.
What's his reason?
Delayed conscience. Of course, he may be one of those cranks who dabbles in self-destruction. Either way, his confession may clear you. How does that strike your conscience?
What am I supposed to do? Insist that I'm the guilty one?
Do you believe he's a murderer? Well, neither do I.
Well, looks like you're going to get that X-ray after all.
Doctor?
Doctor, dig that.
How are you feeling?
All right. Gerard arranged to pass for you.
My request?
And I know what he wants. He wants me to announce to the world that Victor is innocent and that I'm the murderer. Is that what you want to?
I want to help my husband.
Yesterday you wanted to help me.
But only because I was trying to keep my husband from making a terrible mistake. I'm still trying.
You're not sure he's innocent?
I know he didn't kill Helen.
Well, neither did I, and you can't expect me to...
I don't expect anything, Doctor. But I'll be honest with you. If I could force you to say that you were guilty, I think I'd do it. If I could bribe or threaten or frighten you, I'd do it. I cannot let my husband throw his life away.
Life doesn't seem to mean much to him.
Yes, well, maybe I'm partly responsible for that.
And don't you know why why he's in this hospital?
Well, he thought he had some ulcers. They were running some tests.
Ulcers, who told you that?
Victor did. The tests were negative.
Well, then you haven't spoken to Dr. Becker.
Well, no, why should I? What difference would that make?
Sorry to break in on you, but we have to get you down to X-ray, Dr. Kimball.
Yes, could we wait?
Yeah, just
No,
one
I'm
moment.
sorry, we don't have any time. Toby, will you help me, please?
Ann, see Dr. Becker. Tell him you want the truth.
Come on, Doc. It's traveling time. Hold it, Mac. We're coming through.
Sort of bluish gray. Try again, Leonetti. Bluish gray.
Oh, I can't buy it. I just can't buy it. Can't or won't? You know, we can't hold Leonetti much longer unless we file charges.
Kimball's been tried and convicted. In the eyes of the law, he's the guilty man.
The eyes of the law. Leonetti just poked a finger in the clear blue eyes of the law.
All yours, Toby. Will you tell him the doctor wants the place developed and dried right away?
You bet. I'll wait for him.
Will you help him back, please?
So near and yet so far. Huh, killer?
On your feet. Come on. Onto the table. Toby, I left some film in there rinsing. Would you take it out, please?
Right.
Hey, congratulations.
What?
You and Toby, you told me.
What are you talking about?
Oh, never mind.
Thank you, Toby.
I have a right to know the truth. Dr. Becker was on there.
Truth. That's great stuff, isn't it? Knowing about the truth.
Now listen to me.
Like picking up a rock and seeing everything you don't want to see. Jeannie dying by inches. Kimball dying in the electric chair. And big shot Victor Leonetti, never sick a day in his life, and dying because he deserves to die. You said it yourself. Jeannie died because of me? Well, you're right, she did. And Kimball in custody because of me.
Is that why you made the false confession? To punish yourself?
Well, what do you mean, false confession?
To undo what you did to Dr. Kimball.
That's hero stuff, and I'm no hero.
You think that's heroic? A man who do something like that is only selfish. You understand, Victor? You've got an advantage that hardly anyone else gets.
Advantage. 10 months to live and you call that an advantage?
I call that a blessing. A gift. You know how many people have less time than you have, and they are not lucky enough to know it. But you know. And you know that you cannot waste any time. You have to make every single minute count. And that's 10 months. And those 10 months are our lifetime. Our happiness. have anything left. Please, Victor. Please don't throw it away.
Tell that lieutenant that I want to see him. You tell him to hurry up because my time is valuable.
The doc wants him developed right away, Del. We'll wait for him.
I need some help, Toby.
Stay put, killer.
What have you been saying about me?
What?
I'll talk to you later after you take him back to his room.
Well, you were right about Leonetti. And Kimball.
We have to take one of Toby.
Don't scream. Don't scream.
What are you doing? He grabbed me. He might have killed me. What's happening in here? Look what he did. They should be finished with the x-rays by now. Emily, go!
What's going on?
There's a prisoner escaped. Man with an injured shoulder, dressed in hospital whites.
I ain't seen him. I sure hope I don't.
Lieutenant, I'd like to thank you.
Thank me.
Yes, for letting me see Dr. Kimball. It changed a lot of things for us.
Listen, I want to make sure that Kimball gets a good lawyer. We'll pay all the legal expenses, all of them.
Yes, well, I'll tell him. When I find him.
death sentence comes in many forms, affecting each man in a different way. For some, it means an end to pain. For others, it becomes a challenge to live. For Richard Kimball, the challenge is repeated with every new turn of the road.
Stars in tonight's story, Norma Crane, Edward Asner, John Milford. Tonight's episode, Masquerade.
If you are a fugitive, you travel a lot, most often by hitching a ride with a stranger. And always you ask yourself, who is he? What kind of man hides behind that face?
Thought you were going to drop me in town.
Sure will. You still want to wait around?
Order me a cup of coffee, will you?
Yes, sir.
A couple cups of coffee and a hamburger, please.
Lorraine, coffee, please. Make it 2.
Your coffee, sir?
Green River Motel.
Room 108, please.
Who is this calling?
It's official business.
There must be some mistake. I'm sorry. Number 108 is vacant.
Forget your change.
Hey, mister. Forget something? I think you'll need this.
Thanks.
Well, I know you from someplace?
I don't think so.
Sure I do. Recognized you the minute we walked in, isn't that right, Willie?
That's right, Bo.
No, I've never been here before.
Well, maybe it's your picture, then. Is that it, Bo?
No, picture, I haven't done anything. You got me mixed up with someone else.
That'll be easy enough to find out. Shall we take a ride?
Yeah, we'll play a little game down at the office. Who's who? See if old Bo's right or not.
Look, I told you you got me mixed up with someone else.
You got something in there to prove who you are?
You take it out.
Driver's license.
You're Leonard Hull?
Hoo-wee. Well, what do you know? As easy as that.
Well, I didn't think that.
You didn't think what, Mr. Hull? You didn't think we'd know who you were? Maybe not by sight, but they sent us a pretty good rundown on you.
They sent you a rundown?
Yeah, they wired us last night. You might be heading this way. Nobody figured you'd show up so soon.
Well, we better not be standing out here talking. Willie, I'll ride with Mr. Hull in his car. You follow us back.
I think you better call in, too.
Okay, Bo. Shall we go, Mr. Hull?
Where are you taking me?
Don't worry, Mr. Hull. We run a tight little department in Clay City. You're going to be perfectly safe with us.
Reached the sheriff yet?
Yeah, he's coming back. He says to keep him in his office. And nobody's to know anything, especially the papers.
Have a seat, Mr. Hull.
Can't be too careful.
Well, you're not going to end up like that other witness, Mr. Hull. Not in our town, anyway.
I, read that paper while we wait?
Yeah. I've just been reading all about you. You're pretty clever getting out of that hotel room. How'd you spot him?
That old Bo's a regular hound dog, the way he smelled him out. Of course, he didn't know exactly who he was until Mr. Hull showed him that license.
Mr. Hull, you didn't think that we'd be expecting you to show up here?
Looking for your wife? I guess I didn't.
You knew we had men watching her around the clock, guarding for any move Blackburn might make. How'd you plan to see without getting caught?
I don't know.
Well, it's not a wasted trip anyway.
This is his state. He's got men everywhere.
Thanks for the warning.
It's not as simple as that, and you know it. You're in my protective custody now. What happened to McAdams is not going to happen to you, not if I can help it.
Sheriff, what if I don't want your protective custody? No, I haven't done anything wrong. You can't hold me against my will.
I don't know what kind of a deal you made in return for your testimony, but I do know that you and the rest of Buddy Blackburn's executives faced that indictment along with him. I could hold you just for leaving Washington. Better get me Washington now. When are you going to show some sense and trust us, Hull? Don't you realize we're trying to save your life?
Sheriff, I don't think I should see her, you know.
Why not?
I don't want to get her involved in all this.
She's already in it. You've got 4, maybe 5 hours before they get here from Washington to take you back. She's just a few minutes down the road.
But you said that Blackburn must know by now. Wouldn't it be safer?
Safer? You come all this way, then you tell me you don't want to see her? I don't get you, Hull.
Well, I told you I'm afraid of what he might do.
And I told you you're both in my protective custody. Let me worry about Blackburn. Get in. Anything?
Nothing, sir.
Stay back there.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, we're coming in.
Who is it?
Sheriff Mayhew, Mrs. Hull. Got somebody here to see you.
Leonard?
Come see for yourself.
I'll be right out.
Are you just going to stand there gawking?
I thought you might be kind of pleased to see your husband again.
Why? Because he informed to save his own neck without caring about what happened to me.
All right. I'll leave you two alone. If you want anything, just signal the man out front.
Yeah?
It's me, Bo. I'll be back when they come for you. In a couple of hours.
Try anything and I'll shoot. If that doesn't stop you, then this will when it goes off. Either way, you're a dead man.
I'd like to explain.
Not another step. I mean it.
You can put that down if you'll just let me tell you what happened.
No. I'll tell you. I knew Buddy would send someone.
You think Blackburn sent me?
I thought I would be safe until I read about McAdams. Then I knew it was no use.
Mrs. Hall, I didn't know anything about this until I made the mistake of borrowing your husband's identification.
And you've already gotten to Leonard?
Well, not in the way you think. I met him on the road by accident. I was hitchhiking. His car was broken down. He gave me a ride after I fixed the fan belt.
Leonard never had a car. They flew him to Washington.
Then he rented one. The sheriff said that Blackburn found out about it even before the police did.
He was headed here to see me.
He stopped at a restaurant outside of town. He made a phone call. I guess it was to contact you.
I just don't get it. I don't know why anybody in his right mind would want Leonard's identification.
I had to prove I was somebody. Anybody. Otherwise, the police would have taken me in for questioning. The wallet was in your husband's jacket. About the same height, same coloring. I had no idea it was going to be somebody special.
And they bought that? You don't even look like it. But they haven't put a picture of him out yet, have they? And they can't... Why? Why did you go along with all this?
Well, the police would have found out who I really was.
And who's that?
They want me for something that happened a while back, something I didn't do.
Do you really expect me to believe that?
It's true. I guess the rest is up to you.
I could call them and tell them that you're not Leonard.
If you really thought I was somebody sent by Blackburn, why didn't you tell them when I walked in?
Because whoever you are, I want to make a deal with you.
Turn around. Hands up. Feet back. Okay, now, who are you?
We haven't got much time. The 2 men will be arriving soon to pick up Leonard Hull. One look at me.
Then take my offer.
Look, Mrs. Hull, I told you.
All right. All right, but you're passing up $50,000 in cash, undeclared income. Money that Buddy slipped Leonard for keeping a neat set of books, and I've got the key to the safety deposit box.
Look, Mrs. Hull, I was not sent here.
All you have to do is to tell Buddy that it's done. That I'm dead and buried somewhere where nobody will ever find me.
Mrs. Hull.
I swear to you, once we're out of here, I'll disappear. Like I was never born.
Aren't you safe here?
Safe? You marched in here, didn't you?
Well, that was a fluke. It couldn't have been planned.
They got McAdams. Was that a fluke, too? No. Oh, no. Buddy puts out an order, and it gets done.
Well, not by me. But I'd have to be crazy, wouldn't I,
To walk in here if I was hired to get you? One look at me, you'd yell fake, that'd be it.
All right. All right, not by you. But maybe somebody else. And then if he didn't make good, Buddy will send another. And another. My only chance is getting out of here. I've got to get lost out there. Lost for good.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hull. I can't help it.
You'll help me.
Hold it there.
Sheriff, he's here.
Over there.
This all he had on him?
That's it. No ID, nothing in the way of weapons.
All right. What's your name?
You like this cat and mouse?
No more than you do. Want to tell us about it?
You really don't know.
We've got a pretty good idea of what you were doing there.
I was looking for a room.
Looking for a room in back of the building?
Yeah, I lost my way. Look, I haven't done anything wrong. You either charge me or let me go.
Let's start over. What's your name?
Doe. John Doe.
Address?
What are you doing in town? Where you from?
I thought we got that cleared up.
Self-preservation. It's a powerful instinct. Turn around. All right, turn around. I want to get dressed.
All right.
Relax, have yourself a drink.
No, thanks.
Will you fix me one, please? Scotch?
Sure. Why is Blackburn after you? Because he knows your husband started to talk?
Leonard doesn't care about what happens to me. Buddy knows that. But Buddy's afraid now. For the first time in his life. And he's plenty scared. He thinks that Leonard's told me something. And he's not taking any chances. Thank you. You can turn around now.
You know, running away isn't going to solve anything. I said we could escape. Put you right out in the open, make it a lot easier for Blackburn.
And if I stay, I'm a sitting duck. No, I've got to get out while I can. Well, there's nothing wrong with trying to save your own life.
How about Johnson?
You don't catch on fast, do you? Leonard and I, we were going to split up a long time ago.
Well, why didn't you?
Buddy didn't approve. One big, happy corporate family, and nobody leaves.
He ran your private lives that closely.
Buddy Blackburn is a way of life. It became Leonard's by choice, and mine by Leonard's. It's a rotten way to live. That's why you're going to help me change it.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Open up, please.
Mrs. Hull.
Mrs. Hull, what?
What is it, Mrs. Hull?
We'd like the afternoon papers, please.
You know, it's going to be easy enough for us to find out who you are, just as soon as we get your prints.
We've wasted enough time already.
Now, hold on.
Want to tell us now? Save us all a lot of trouble? Just a question of time. You have a lot to spare. We have, too.
All right. May come as some surprise to you, but the name is Hull. Leonard Hull. You've probably heard of me.
Like the devil you are. You want to play games? We've got some ourselves. Get his prints and throw him in a cell.
Wait a minute. You asked me and I told you. Now, the guy you're holding, the one that flashed my wallet, just some hitchhiker I picked up.
Hitchhiker?
Yeah, it was my coat you took out to him from the restaurant. You still got him locked up.
Yes. No.
Get it. Where is he?
Gee, Sheriff, I didn't expect to see you back so soon. Got someone anxious to see our guests. Open up. Sure. It's me, Ed. Open it. Where's Sorensen? He came in to stay with him when I went for the paper. That's procedure. When one of us leaves his post, the other one comes in.
She had a gun. He grabbed me. I couldn't do a thing.
Jenkins, get on the radio. Get out all cars available. Block the highway east and west, routes 4A and 33. Stop and search all buses going in or out.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry about this, Mr. Hull.
I'll bet you are. Police protection. Putting a stranger in with my wife, and now they're both gone. Right under your noses.
Protective custody is not jail, especially when you fight not to be protected.
I'm not going back to Washington. Not to testify. Not after this.
I'll have them back in an hour, before dark.
Have to before dark.
That's right. Okay, we're coming in now. Roger.
there's any talking, let me do it. You just relax.
I want to check your passengers. Come on, Sheriff, unblock the road. We've got a schedule.
All right, you can go.
Does it hurt?
A little. Hey, you've got a real professional touch. How'd you learn it?
There's a medic in the service. Does it look too bad?
Good.
Have a doctor take a look at it when you get out of this.
If I get out of this.
Mayhew. Not good enough. Listen, and get descriptions out. And get more cars on it. I don't care where you get them. Get them. Be dark in a half hour.
Then you've lost him.
We've got half the state on this thing. If there's any chance
I can't keep running with that arm. You just stay in the truck. You'll be safe here. When it stops, get to a phone, call the police. Goodbye. Broken your neck. I can't help you anymore, Mrs. Hull. I'm going to have to go to the police.
Don't you understand? I can't go back. I won't.
Why can't you? What are you really afraid of?
I told you. I just want to get out of this whole mess. I want to start my life all over again.
Because of your husband? Because you both wanted a divorce and Blackburn wouldn't let you?
Yes, I told you that. I told you.
If that were true, the last place in the world your husband would want to run to.
You don't understand. He's He's just running home to Mama. He's weak. Leonard would have never gotten any place, done anything without me.
Why going to work for Buddy Blackburn in the first place?
I just wanted him to be more aggressive. I didn't pick Blackburn. I just urged him to grab a decent opportunity. He let Buddy walk all over him. Over him and me.
You wanted revenge. You wanted your husband to do it for you. And now you hate him because he didn't give you that.
What are you going to do?
Get him a doctor. You think you can make it to that field office up there?
Yes. What about you?
I'll be gone when they get here. I'd appreciate it if you didn't say anything about it.
All right. I'm sorry. It wasn't your fight.
Yeah, well, it got that way when I took your husband's identification. You know, somebody ought to...
I don't know anything more about it than that. When that man who tried to kill me is better. Why don't you ask him?
She should be right in here, Mr. Hull.
Okay, say it. I put you in a spot offering to testify.
You just said it.
Well, what else do you want me to say? Then I'm sorry? Forget it. No, maybe I am. But not for you.
At least you're honest about it.
I came after you because I wanted to hide. To get away, to run, forget Buddy. I just couldn't leave it.
I'm a bigger coward. I was going to leave it.
Well, now I guess you can.
What about you?
I decided that I found you all right. I'd go back, go through with it.
Not on my account.
On mine.
For a man named Blackburn, justice will be done. But for Richard Kimball, that day has not yet come. And so he moves on, searching. Confession is a memory and a hope. He can never know what unexpected shift of fate will send him running again. Perhaps in pursuit of the one-armed man, perhaps in flight for his life.
Maintenance?
Now, Mr. Burns, this is Maud Keller, number 9. He said you'd come up and fix that faucet of mine when you got a chance.
Mrs. Keller, I'm off in 10 minutes. I'll catch a bus for Cleveland this evening.
Now, Mr. Burns, those buses run every half hour. I happen to know. Now, I simply will not put up with this drip, drip, drip another night.
All right. I'll try and fix it. Be right up.
And now we return to the second half of What's My Name?
Our second category today is lawbreakers. Ready? Ready? All right. What's my name? Now, if you look at our screen, we have some photographic clues for you. Ready? I lived in this ordinary town. I worked in this ordinary building. I was brought to trial in this ordinary courthouse for the crime of murder. I was accused and convicted of killing my wife. Now, can you tell me, what's my name? Well, I'll give you one final clue. I am now at large, a fugitive. And either of you contestants, and our viewers too, as far as that's concerned, can do a great public service by helping to bring me to justice.
Give me the police, quick.
Your name and address, please. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, well... Yes, ma'am.
Luke, I'm going to call today. If anything turns up, I'll be at home, huh?
Just a minute, please. A woman thinks the janitor in our apartment building is a Dr. Richard Kimball. Murder warrant, a fugitive. Ring any bell?
Where is this?
Who is it?
It's me, Mrs. Keller, Tom Burns. The faucet you wanted fixed, where is it?
I changed my mind. It stopped.
You mean it stopped dripping?
Yes, I changed my mind.
Mrs. Keller, what is the matter?
Nothing the matter with me. Just keep away from me, please.
No, please, what is the matter?
Just keep away from me, that's all. Just keep away or I'll scream. I'll scream my lungs out. Ah!
Car number 22 to headquarters. Come in, please. Over.
Go ahead, car 22.
We're at the Walnut Street address, Sergeant. The woman is very emotional. The suspect is still at large. I have a witness here who can assist with identification. Request instructions. Over.
Roger, 22. Units 9 and D5 are on the way. Is the suspect in the building?
I don't think so, Sergeant.
Unit 22, stand by for assistance. Units 9 and D5, code 6. Call the county, call the state, request cooperation. Order all off-duty men to report at once. Try to seal off the area first and then the town. Cover the bus depot, the train depot, and the taxi service. Take this over to the duplicator, run off some copies. Take one over to Walnut Street for identification. Now, call the local radio station. Take a copy of Kimball's picture over to the TV station. Ask the TV people if they'll run his mug on the air every chance that they get. Got all that, Luke? Yes, sir. You going over to Walnut Street? Oh, it's 5 o'clock. We'll get some dinner. Dinner? Now? Just over at the burger house. I always work better when my stomach's full.
Is that you?
No, ma'am.
Oh, forgive me. I thought you were someone else. I need a little help. Would you mind?
Didn't mean to startle you. I guess I came in the wrong way.
I'm Claire Whitaker. Do I know you?
I don't think so. I'm
What's your name?
Phil. Meade, Phil Meade.
Claire? Where are you?
Here I am, Dan.
All right, Claire. Just walk toward my voice.
Well, it's all right, Dan. There's someone here to help me.
Who's there?
I am, sir.
This is Mr. Meade. Or is it Dr. Meade?
No.
You're not a student. Your voice is too mature. So you must be from the Good Neighbor Society.
Mr. Meade?
Yes, sir.
I want you to let her do most of it by herself. Don't hang on to her. Just stay with her. Be sure she doesn't fall.
Oh, Dan, for heaven's sake, stop directing traffic.
You have to learn, Claire. We all did.
Yes, the continued cooperation of the public and feels confident that the fugitive will be in custody by nightfall.
You're not helping her, are you, Meade?
No, sir. Just walking along.
I know I irritate Claire Whitaker, but she'll be a lot better off, by George, once she learns to move around by herself. An idle person's going to waste away, it seems to me. So I take it on myself to try and keep folks busy here. Come on, I'll show you.
Oh, who's this?
Mrs. Ferguson? Mr. Meade? Where are you?
Right here, Mr. Brady.
Mr. Meade. That's Mrs. Ferguson. Regardless of the noise I make, it's really Mr. and Mrs. Ferguson who run the place. Mr. Meade is down from Cleveland.
Oh, Good Neighbor Society. You alone?
Phil Meade. We're going to call him Phil.
Mr. Brady, you call my husband and he'll show this gentleman to the guest room.
Well, see, I can do that. Guest room's right next to mine. Come on, Phil. I'll show you.
Poor old Mrs. Ferguson, and I'm afraid we run her half to death. Tell the truth, her husband is, well, he's a little slow, not much help.
If I wanted to watch television later on.
Well, no, I'm sorry, Phil. There's not a set in the house. Now, there's one room on the right and two on the left. The guest room is the second on the left.
Miss Whittaker has some letters she wants to write. Would you go up and help her? I'm needed in the kitchen.
Say, that's good. Claire Whittaker needs a little excitement. I think you made an impression. Want me to show you the way?
Well, no, I know how to get there, thank you.
Well, Luke, what's new?
The mayor's in your office.
I see his car outside.
Hello, Mayor. Barney, where have you been?
Didn't the sergeant tell you? I was having dinner.
At a time like this, with a killer loose in town?
When I get hungry, Otis, I have to eat.
Don't you realize that your position in this town is only temporary until that council meeting tomorrow?
Sure.
And half of the members still feel you ought to promote one of the local officers to the job?
Good idea.
Barney, I went way out on a limb to bring you here. Way out on a limb. If you don't want the job, why did you come?
I do want the job.
You'd better start acting. Imagine what it'll do to my prestige here if you let me down.
Stop worrying.
Stop worrying. You get out there and find that killer Kimball, and then I'll stop worrying.
Otis, I'm not running a Wild West show. I'm running a police department. The machinery I've set in motion is far more effective than any one man. Do you understand that?
All right. I understand it. Barney, why aren't you out there? Dan Brady wouldn't have sat there. He couldn't have. Dan Brady would have been out there with his men.
I am not Dan Brady.
Therefore, I think it's better to face the fact that Dr. Jorgensen is a disappointing and obstinate old man. I ask you again, Ruth, to accept my fate as I have done. Your loving sister, Claire. That'll fix her.
That's, Claude Jorgensen. He's supposed to be one of the best.
Oh. Now, don't you start being full of hope and cheer, Phil. I like you just the way you are.
What else?
Nothing.
About some music.
Oh, a phonograph? I never used the silly thing.
Oh, no, if there's nothing wrong with your ears.
I can't read labels or find switches with my ears.
Well, then get someone to help you or find the system.
Why should I settle for that?
What do you mean, settle?
Phil, either you see or you don't. I don't, and I never will again. I have to be a burden in essential things. I've adjusted to that, but I've never asked anyone for anything I didn't need.
All right.
You're not going.
You don't need me.
Bill? Bill? Well, good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Mrs. Ferguson, I'd like to see Dan Brady. Thank you.
Mayor, right in here.
Dan, I've got to talk to you. I don't suppose you know what's taking place in town. You've got no TV sets in here.
Remember a thing called radio? My transistor keeps me in touch.
Oh, well, then you do know. Dan, this town is in the grip of fear.
Oh, come on, Otis.
If this killer isn't caught...
I know.
If he's not apprehended... You just imagine what that'll do to my reputation as mayor here.
Why come to me with it?
And you kept law and order here for over 30 years. Folks still talk of Chief Brady. Always will. They respect you. So do I. Now, I need your advice. Maybe your influence. I thought maybe if you'd go on the TV and say a word or two about...
Don't be foolish. You got your chief of police, this Barney Vladeck. He's a college man.
He's only temporary, Chief, Dan.
Well, put him on the TV. Let him make an educated statement. All I've got is 38 years' experience. Experience doesn't count anymore.
And please, at a time like this, if this Kimball isn't caught before the council meeting tomorrow, I'm going to look like a doggone fool when I ask him to make Vladeck permanent chief of police. And suppose you just make a statement that one of the reporters or one of the announcers could read, just to give the folks confidence.
Yeah. I'll make a statement. I lost my eyes performing my duty to this town. And you gave me a tin medal and put me out to pasture. And blind, Otis. Blind. I'm still a better man than you or your Barney Vladeck. A call to the Good Neighbor Society up in Cleveland.
Oh, Mr. Meade, dinner's in 10 minutes. Will you tell the others?
Say, Phil. What's your secret, Phil?
What do you mean, my secret?
Well, you're the first person who got
Other work to do. I'd like to come back, of course.
Oh, sure, I know. But you are going to stay overnight, aren't you?
Well, no, I hadn't planned to, Mr. Brady.
Well, would it put you out a lot to stay? I'll tell you why. You got through to Claire Whitaker. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And we've got another resident here, a young school teacher. We should have a try at reaching him. He was blinded in a highway accident, driving a school bus. 2 youngsters were killed. The whole thing was investigated, and he was cleared, absolutely cleared. He's the only person alive who doesn't believe he's innocent. And he never comes out of his room.
Mr. Brady, I am not a psychiatrist.
Well, just talk to him. See how he feels. Go on. Knock on the door. Knock on it. Bob? Bob? This is Phil. Phil Meade from the Good Neighbor Society. Bob Stern, Phil. Mind if we come in?
Yes, I mind.
Mrs. Ferguson wanted me to tell you the dinner is ready.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Oh, now, don't be rude, Bob. Phil's heard about you from some of the other good neighbors who visited here, and, well, he's just interested in learning about your accident and seeing if he can help you.
He can't help. You can just get out of here.
We all know you were innocent. There's no reason on earth for you to keep on hiding in this room.
Mr. Brady, I think...
Well, there were 24 kids in that bus. He saved 22 of them. Went back into it 4 times while it was on fire. And in spite of that...
Mr. Brady, I think you better leave.
Well, okay, Phil. Try to talk some sense to him.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Can I help you to dinner?
Dinner is served. Dinner, everyone. Dinner, Mr. Meade. Dinner, Bob.
Who is that tray for?
Miss Whitaker always has her tray in her room.
I'll take it. Save you the trip.
Oh, thank you, Phil, but don't bother us. I'm coming down to dinner tonight.
By yourself?
Of course, by myself. Don't be silly.
One step at a time, Claire. Slow and easy. Come on, Claire. You can make it. I always knew you could.
Gosh.
Come on, Claire. You can make it.
To go back to my room.
I'll help her.
Mr. Meade? How is she?
She ate most of the dinner. She's resting now.
Mr. Meade, I wonder if I could talk to you.
All right, well.
In my room.
Has Mr. Meade come downstairs yet?
Yes, Mrs. Ferguson. He says Claire's fine now. Resting.
I hope the good neighbor sent him back. He's a good one.
Mr. Meade, you know I'm not blind, don't you?
Yes.
Well, you're the only one who does know. I was afraid you'd tell Brady.
Why should I?
He told you about the accident.
Everybody tell me.
The accident was my fault.
He said it wasn't.
He doesn't know. It was after a football game. It was very cold. It was a very, very cold afternoon. And I had a couple of drinks. Whiskey. I had 2 drinks to warm myself up.
Were you in control of yourself?
I thought so. But I'd never drunk much in my life. I couldn't avoid the wreck.
Did it come out at the investigation?
No.
Well, Bob, if you think you're to blame, confess. Ease your conscience.
Well, I never tried to tell myself that. I ever tried. But
everyone thinks you're blind.
Yeah. After the accident, I was burned. Shocked, I guess. But later in the hospital, my sight started to come back. One thing I could always see. Those 2 kids trapped in the back of the bus. And I never wanted to see again. And I still don't. I just want to be left alone.
To suffer with your guilt? Bob, you gotta make up your mind. You want to be punished? Or do you want to be worshipped?
What do you mean?
Well, it's nice to be a hero. But you may have to give that up. To ease your conscience. You might have to give it up. Bill? Yes?
He opened up to you, didn't he?
Well, we talked, Mr. Brady.
Say, if we could just keep you here a while, it'd do us all a lot of good, I know it.
I thought I'd take a little walk.
Oh, good, good. I'll go with you. I used to really enjoy an evening walk. Who is it? Hello, Dan. Barney Vladeck. Well. Dan, I've got a problem. Get to it.
I'd like to take a look around this place.
Officially, yes. Get out of here.
If I could get permission, I won't need a warrant.
Permission not granted, you hear that? Look for what?
Oh, come on now, Dan. I know you got a radio there. You know who I'm looking for. He's got to hide where he can't be recognized. Everybody in town has seen his face on the TV screen. This house doesn't have a TV set, right?
You're insulting my intelligence with your questions, Sonny.
I'm not accusing anybody, Dan. He might be hiding on the grounds.
You're grasping at straws, Valetic. Why anyone would pick you to fill my shoes is more than I can figure.
I'm not trying to fill your shoes.
You're through, Sonny. I want you to know that. 38 years I've laid my life on the line for this town. No one has given more to these people.
Don't you think that everybody knows that, Dan?
Do they? Do they? Hoodlums, gangsters, delinquents run wild, but not in this town. Do the people really know why? Because I kept them out. Do they appreciate what I did for them? Look. That's the price for keeping this town safe. Acid in the face by a couple of hoodlums. But they're in jail. I wonder if anyone remembers who put them there.
I'm sorry. I've got a job to do. The same as you did once. Maybe not the same way, but... All right. If I need a warrant, I'll come back.
You do that. While you're searching this house, this council will be meeting. You do your job the best way you know how. And we'll let the council decide what kind of law enforcement they need in this town. Yours or mine.
I guess I should get downstairs.
You're coming back?
Oh, sure.
May I say something?
Go ahead.
Last night when I fell down the stairs, I was humiliated, but I will try again.
Some things to do, Mrs. Ferguson.
Yes, but did you see Miss Whitaker? I called and called.
Well, she's up in her room resting. At least she was 10 minutes ago.
She's gone. She's never done this before.
She'll go just so far, and then she'll wait for help.
What's going on?
Oh, Miss Whitaker's missing, Mr. Brady, but we'll find her.
Well, let me help.
No, you stay put, Mr. Brady. Mr. Meade and I can see.
And your husband, he can see.
He's off doing errands. I'll get Cook to help us. We'll find her.
She can't go very far alone.
She's in the room. Come on, you could go and help them look for her, couldn't you?
What do you mean?
Are we alone?
I guess so.
You know so. I'm not blind, Bob. I've tested you a dozen ways. Tried to bump into you. You always sidestepped. Your eyes were injured in the wreck, but your sight came back. Am I right?
Have you told anyone else?
Why should I spoil your fun? You condemned yourself, boy. If you didn't enjoy your punishment, you could put an end to it.
You don't know what it's like.
All right.
You don't know what it's like.
All right. We'll argue about that later. You ever listen to your radio?
No.
Do you know about the manhunt? I'm going to tell you who they're looking for. Phil Meade is no more Phil Meade than I am. I called their Good Neighbor Society. They never heard of him. I say that he's Dr. Richard Kimball, a fugitive and a murderer.
I don't believe that.
Our whole police force, Mr. Acting Chief Velatic, state county reinforcements combing the town, blocking the roads, costing the town a fortune, and they can't find him. I've got him. I've got him.
Well, it's true. I mean, why don't you stop pretending and call the real police?
Real police? We find somebody that measures up to me. Here, I am the real police. All I need to prove it is your eyes. Take this. Take it. You go to jail for helping a criminal to escape. Put it in your belt. Put it in. Out.
Mrs. Whittaker, Claire, where are you?
Phil, help me!
Didn't you hear us calling?
I was lost. Yes, I could hear. But I was lost. I was so alone.
Well, you're all right now. Come on. Come on, let go. Come on. You can make it.
Oh, no. Hold on to me.
You're either totally blind and helpless, or you're sliding down banisters and running through the garden.
I don't need your opinion, Mr. Meade, of anything I do.
You don't need me to hold on to.
No. Yes.
It's not that far, Claire.
Phil, please.
Come on, Claire.
Mind your own business, Dan. Phil Meade is a pernicious man. He makes people do their best in spite of themselves.
Come here, mister. I want to shake your hand. Yes, sir. You've done wonders for Claire. And for Bob here, too. Even for me. You're no amateur, are you, Mr. Meade? No, sir. You're no amateur. You even had me fooled, Dr. Kimball. That's saying something. And I don't want to spoil what you did for Claire.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to leave you here, quietly, with Bob.
Hey, Bob.
You're out of when they're looking for, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Brady says you're a killer.
Well, there was a killing.
I was convicted I couldn't prove my innocence, and I still can't.
There's a station wagon down in the garage. He wants me to take you downtown with him.
Luke? It's Dan Brady. Has that council meeting started yet, next door?
Yeah, Chief, about 10 minutes ago.
Well, I want you to break it out. And I'll tell you how. Send in one of the boys to Mayor Penfield with a message.
All right, what is it?
Tell him Dan Brady has something to say about who's going to be the new chief of police. Tell him to bring Mr. Vladeck over there and meet me in the office. And tell him I'm bringing in a prisoner, Dr. Richard Kimball. Put a doctor in a doctor's shoes, and he's bound to sound and act and smell like a doctor. This Vladeck fella dropped the ball because computers don't have instinct. There isn't a man in this state with the instinct to do this job as well as I can do it. Today, even blind. You know what he's thinking about right now, son? Escape. The break he intends to try. Be careful.
Convicted. You're innocent. I wasn't even tried. And you know what? You're the lucky one.
Well, no matter what happens to anyone else, try to straighten out your life, huh? Get rid of some of that guilt.
That is right, Sheriff. We're calling off all roadblocks as of now. Yes. Yes, I have notified the state. Right, Sheriff. Thank you.
Well, that ends that expense.
I hope for your sakes Dan Brady is...
Dan Brady doesn't play games.
All right, Bob. I'll handcuff the prisoner to me.
Mr. Mayor, they're here.
Barney? I think you did your best. You know I was for you. Maybe you'd like to stay on as assistant or something while you learn the ways of this community. Well, this puts Dan Brady where he belongs, I guess. Right back in the driver's seat.
Gentlemen. Who's here? We're all here. Gentlemen, I've been a fool.
No, Sheriff, he won't keep the car. He knows it's too hot. Yes, I have alerted the State Patrol.
Yes, I know he could possibly be out of the city or the county or... Yes, Sheriff. Yes, I know I did. I made a mistake. Thank you.
Well, boys, let's get back to the council chamber and make this appointment official. Congratulations, Chief. Shall we?
Atlantic, I used to be good at giving orders, not so good at apologizing. I can also follow orders if you ever need my help.
Dan, let's talk. Sergeant Higgins? Sergeant, send some coffee in here. Book that young man on the charges of aiding and abetting a felon's escape.
Yes, sir.
Free once again, with the ruthless freedom of the hunted. Anonymous in a world in which he must dread the sound of his own name. Richard Kimball continues, running, searching, a fugitive.